All right. I haven't even had a chance for my antihistamines to kick in yet. I haven't even had my first sip of tea. Yeah, I drink tea for breakfast. Duh. What, you think I should be drinking coffee? Don't like coffee. Coffee is crappy. I mean, you drink coffee? Seriously? You get up in the morning and you put that in your mouth? You eat that? You swallow that? It's like... I mean, just think about this. I'm not putting you down. I mean, if you want to do it, drink it, then okay, fine, yeah. I put sugar in my tea. A good deal of sugar in my tea, actually. I like sugar in my tea. And I'm not, not one of those anti-sugar people. If I couldn't put sugar in my tea, I'd just rather not drink it. If you know what I mean. All right. So there's a lot going on. A lot going on. And I don't even know where to begin. Maybe if I just waited for like an hour until my meds kicked in, and I don't mean my psycho meds. I refuse to take my psycho meds. I'm just kidding. I don't need psycho meds. On the other hand, knowing how things are, the CIA is probably like weaseled into my my medical records and my medical stuff, and switched my meds from. No, that hasn't happened. That'd be just silly to think that. I mean, I know that the CIA is capable of just doing just about any damn thing. Even arranging it so some guys that are like Arabs and Muslims and stuff could take over some airplanes and fly them into buildings and shit. Yeah, Oh, did I say the CIA had anything to do with? Oh, well, gee. Oh, like stranger things have not happened. Oh yeah, stranger things has happened. Has? Stranger things have happened. Like presidents shot in the freaking head and shit. That guy. Kennedy fella. I doubt that I will ever know what really happened, but maybe in some future time people will actually find out the truth somehow. I'm not quite sure how you find out something that's been kept a secret for 50 or 60 years, and how do you find out? I mean, pretty soon all the people that were alive when Kennedy was assassinated by the by somebody that could be like George Bush Sr. or who was head of the CIA, wasn't it? Wasn't that what it is? Was that true? Anyway, let's just think about this for a second. All right, let's go on the light side for a minute. And to me, it's a light side. To some people, it's like really serious, and like I'm saying to myself, "You gotta be kidding me!" Creepy clowns. I'm laughing now, but wait till one of these creepy clowns, does something creepy, like, kidnaps a kid and eats him. Like, I don't know, clowns eat people? I don't think I've ever heard of an example of an incident where a clown ate, a human being. Well, not in the traditional sense of eating. I mean, there's always that other kind. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. Do I have to say it out loud? I'm talking about blowjobs here, right? Anyway, I don't know if I can handle it. A clown giving me a blowjob. I'm not I can't quite picture that. I have a hard enough time picturing anybody. All right, I don't think I want to go any further with this, except let's just stick with the clown thing. Creepy clowns are taking over America or something, and they're committing crimes against humanity and terrorist acts and shit. Apparently, I don't know. I just heard about this last night. I just like, what the fuck? And and people are making comments like, it's probably like going viral or something as I speak on YouTube or whatever. Creepy clowns. And some of the comments were like, we really ought to do something about these creepy clowns, these perverts, before somebody gets hurt, before somebody gets killed. I'm thinking a clown might get killed. Some non-clown person might actually shoot one of them. Thinking, oh, I got terrorists or something. Terrorist, creepy clown. And it's like, apparently this is not just going on in one little place like Fairmont, West Virginia or something, but this is actually going on, across the country. There have been sightings of creepy clowns across America. I'll tell you something creepy. Okay? Creepy is most Americans. And they are dangerous. All right. Say, for example, cops. How come when we figured out that police officers, cops, I'm not using the P word here. The cops, I might use the P word later. You're thinking about that, aren't you? You're thinking, big, right? I was talking about police. And, if you're waiting for me to use the phrase law enforcement, that's the last time you're going to hear me say that in this show. Okay? Because those two words mean like the Taliban or the Gestapo. Nazi fascist police state bastards. Because they're telling people what to do and hurting people, and killing people, like killing Americans on the streets of America. And I don't want to make a big deal about this at this point, but they are doing that. And how many? Hundreds a year? How many a day? How many police, cop, pig, motherfucking police state bastards have hurt, beat up, murdered innocent people in America in, say, the last 24 hours? How many policemen, police officers, it sticks in my craw just to say that, because I have utter contempt for these fascist bastards. And I know. You don't want to be nice. You want to kind of be politically correct. You want to say, oh, police, they're good cops. Yeah, really. That's like saying, oh, there's some good Nazis. Seriously. Think. Think about Germany, 1930s. Adolf Hitler. If hindsight was like 2020, we could say, hey, we could say Adolf Hitler was a fucking monster. And why am I thinking of Adolf Hitler? Why am I thinking of Donald Trump right now? What? How? What? Let me think here a little bit. Seriously, I'm thinking, what? Alright, so Donald Trump got into my thought patterns here when I was thinking about creepy clowns. Talk about a creepy clown. Which one am I talking about now? Oh, I'm talking about Adolf Hitler. 1930s, early 40s, Germany and Europe and so on. There's a creepy clown for you. There's a monster. There is a psychopath and a sociopath and a freaking criminally insane lunatic. I'm not talking about Donald Trump now. Could I? Should I be? Yeah, probably. Instead, I'm talking about a historical figure who was like a fucking monster, who murdered people, like innocent people, like men, women, and children across Europe, and like how many millions of Jews? And all kind of atrocities. I mean, how does one man get tens of thousands of otherwise just regular human beings to join up and become a Gestapo agent or a Stasi or just a regular policeman walking around with a freaking swastika on his arm? What kind of stupid do people have to be to go in? It's just boggles the mind. What kind of idiot? Is it, oh, I'll just be a Nazi. I'll participate and collaborate with, one of the most evil human beings on the planet ever. I'll just collaborate with this piece of shit, monster, Nazi bastard, and, help him murder 6 million Jews. Yeah, I'll do that, and I'll be like really nasty about it, and shoot them in the head, and march them naked across a field in the concentration camp, and march them, men, women, and children, naked. Can you just picture that? A bunch of people naked, women, young women, old women, girls, shit, just walking naked, like in a single file into an oven to just like be gassed and be dead and then just buried in a pit or burned, cremated. How could any human being do such a thing to another human being? Seriously. What kind of low-life pond scum do you have to be to say, oh yeah, I'm going to join that cause. I'm going to go, like, hey, sig, hi, and all that. And believe that shit. Do you see any similarity between Adolf Hitler and somebody running for president in the United States of America right now? I do. And I don't see any. I don't have any. It's not even a stretch of the imagination to think of somebody who says, we ought to kill, murder people, like men, women, and children, and innocent people and shit. Just fucking murder them. I can't make this up. I don't think. I mean, I've got a hell of imagination, and I can imagine all kind of things. Probably a lot of things you folks would think is like really creepy. But I write. I'm a writer. I'm an author. I make up stories and tell them in words. And if I had a decent camera, I'd make movies. Like Steven Spielberg. Well, not like him. I mean, not the movies like he makes. I'd make good movies, and maybe I'd make some porn. So it wouldn't be like Steven Spielberg because he doesn't do that. Or that other guy. But I make up stuff. And how many people have watched movies that are like saying, oh, that's just terrible. What those people in that movie did. Like it's like reality. Like you're watching, no, what kind of movie? I can't even name one. There's just so many. Blood and guts and gore and torture and murder and mayhem and chaos. And, giant lizards that come out of the sea and tromp across Japan and shit. Godzilla. And Jurassic Park. Another kind of not really believable story. Somebody has to make that up. 4th of July, Independence Day. I don't know if they had a movie called 4th of July. Independence Day. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Terminator, Somebody makes these things up. Somebody just in their head says, oh, I want to make a movie. I want to write a book. A novel. I'm going to just make shit up. Out of nothing. It's going to put it in my head. And then there's people that do other things, like they write porn. And which is fine. I mean, it's what you want to do. I do. I write porn. I'm cool. That's no problem. It's not always porn. Sometimes I write things that turn people on. Sometimes I might paint a picture or take a photograph or make a photograph, render a photograph digitally. That's that turns me on, man. That picture turns me on, And then you're like, that's pornography. Like, no, it's not. It's a picture of my mother, you asshole. It was not my intention for you to get, a hard on. looking at a picture of my mother. Not my mother, but of my mother, because it's like an illusion. Pictures are not real people. They're just images. Illusions. Magic. Alright, so I would make movies, and I write, and I make up stuff. But it's just my imagination. Sometimes I just fantasize a story, like, the first time I had sex with a girl, or the 310th time that I had sex with a girl, or whatever. So anyway, I didn't make those up. I put the words together to describe that incident that really happened in my history, but you don't know for sure if it's true because you weren't there. And there's really not a whole lot of evidence that I can give you to prove that I actually did that with her then, back in 1974. A better story is the one in, 1974 was a pretty good story. That incident was awesome. Really. And I have some regrets at that stuff. Not because I did what I did, but because I didn't continue doing it for, maybe the rest of my life. I fucked up big time then. I regret that. What I did. I regret that I didn't keep doing what I was doing with my sweet friend. What's her name? Her name was Alice. So anyway, and I wonder where Alice is now. I'm hoping she's doing well and happy and everything. But you know what? I just... Hey, Alice. Alice Toothman. And whatever your last name might be now. Seriously, I'm going to say this directly to Alice Toothman, who at some point married Charlie Yeater. Seriously, Alice, if you're listening, if you hear this, if anybody who knows Alice, who would be somewhere in her 50s at this point, if you know Alice, or if you are Alice and you're listening to this, why wouldn't Alice be listening to this? Alice just stumbles across a guy named D. McClung, the guy who, at one point back in 1970, 74 I think it was actually having sex with her and liked her a lot. And she liked me a lot. And I dumped her like an idiot. And there's some reason to believe maybe there was something happened there that if you're listening, Alice, I'm sorry. I sincerely, genuinely am sorry for the way I treated you. And I would beat myself if I thought it would do any good. So I'm asking for redemption here. Please forgive me. If it's any consolation to you, I haven't forgiven myself for that. I'm still beating myself up. It's been 40 years? I'm still beating myself up over how I treated you, Alice. This is like an online confession here. I'm admitting it. I'm begging for forgiveness from somebody who probably doesn't even remember me, or certainly doesn't think about me anymore. But in case you're listening, and in case you know somebody named Alice Toothman, whatever, maybe she got married again. I want to say, genuinely, sincerely, sorry. I apologize. And wish I could take it back. Wish I could undo history. Like a lot of people, like a lot of politicians do. Let's just rewrite history to suit ourselves. Like Hillary. I'll just lie and therefore change history, And I expect everybody to believe it because they're a total attitude, total fools, and they'll believe anything. Except the truth, of course. Because Americans, particularly, are, not that bright. Sorry. That was probably an insult. Yeah, well, if the shoe fits. All right, clowns, creepy clowns. I kind of went way over there into old girlfriends and bad things, feeling bad about myself because I was really a creepy guy back then. It wasn't creepy, that wouldn't be the right word. I guess I'd be called creepy today if I did that. Had a girlfriend and dumped her. I would probably be called a creepy bastard or something. Jerk. And I was a jerk and I treated her badly. And I'm sorry. I didn't beat her or anything. Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't rape her. I just broke her heart. At least that's how I perceive it, and that's how she presented it to me at the time. All right, let's talk about creepy clowns. All right, somebody says, "Oh, we should do something about these creepy clowns before somebody gets hurt or killed." What the fuck? So some guys are dressed, I don't know, girls too, maybe, I don't know, and people are dressing up like clowns, and I'm not even sure. Is there an official clown outfit, costume? Is there an official clown look? I mean, do all clowns have to have, red balls on the end of their nose? Wear these stupid, baggy jumpsuit type things? I mean, can a clown just be like wearing jeans and some makeup on his face? And of course, we'll ask the other question: is Donald Trump a clown? And would he qualify as a creepy clown? Really? Maybe. Guess it depends on your thinking. As for myself, I think he's just a lunatic. Then I have all this evidence that kind of convinces me that he is. I'm not going to go through the list. I might play that audio for you later, where Keith Olbermann, I think that's his name. He gave a little talk for a few minutes. It said 176 things that are I don't want to say creepy, but wrong about this guy, Donald Trump. I mean, seriously, we're taking this clown seriously. I mean, this creepy clown might be president. God help us all. Seriously. I thought George Bush was bad. Oh, God. What's the world coming to? It's going to come to an end if we keep going along this path. Well, the world won't. It'll probably still be here. Humanity might be disappeared off the face of the earth, but that might be a good thing for the rest of the planet. All right, creepy clowns. All right, if you see a creepy clown, and who says they're creepy? Maybe they're just funny clowns. Maybe they're just cute clowns. Maybe they're just, kind of scary clowns, but why creepy? Yeah, and I even heard some person say, which is, not saying anything about the girl, but she even said, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to say it, but she actually said, they're, oh God, I don't know if I can even say it. She said something like, these creepy clowns are dragging kids into the woods and eating them, or Really? I wonder if she has any evidence to support that claim. And I wonder why she's saying that. Well, I think probably we know why she would say something like that because, I'm thinking she's probably not, up to par in certain mental developmental things. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I don't want to hurt her feelings or say, I should be politically correct here and be considerate because she does have some limitations. And I don't mean to hurt her feelings or say anything nasty about her. I mean, she's all right. I mean, as far as I know, she doesn't do anything bad. She's not like Hillary Clinton, She's just a person and just saying weird things like they're dragging kids into the woods and eating them. She didn't say they were eating them. I added that as a little embellishment. Okay, so calm down. Don't get crazy on me here. So, I just heard about this last night. It's the first time I heard of it. Apparently, other people have heard about it for a while, and they're talking about it and on the internet. And it's like, wow, creepy clowns are invading the country or something. Next thing you know, you'll be hearing about some creepy clown, abducted some kid and raped them and killed them and ate them or whatever, for real, Clowns are getting a bad rap. Seriously, I'm sure there are millions, I don't know how many clowns are. There are millions of clowns in the world that never, ever ate anybody or committed any acts of terrorism or murdered anybody or committed genocide. Except for that clown in Germany, which one I'm talking about, and the one in Washington, D.C. The one that has been in Washington, that is in Washington, and wants to be in Washington. There's 3 different clowns right there. And they are creepy. And they do deserve to be investigated and perhaps put in. I'm not talking about Donald because he hasn't done anything yet. But if he's president, I'm sure he will do some creepy things. Just like Obama has done some pretty creepy anti-American, anti-nature, anti-freedom, unconstitutional, treasonous kind of genocidal, murdering bastard things. And, I'm not saying. I'm more concerned about this George Bush walking around like a free man. Like a creepy clown. He's just walking around like I'm still alive and I get people talk to me and put me in the news and shit. And I go and give speeches at places like at Clown College or something. And, and he's a genocidal freaking maniac. He's like a freaking murderer, mass murdering psychopath. And a liar and a traitor, and I think George W. Bush is guilty of a lot of, the worst crime since Adolf Hitler, even. As far as he's a reincarnation of Adolf Hitler, as far as I'm concerned. And what would we do with an Adolf Hitler if they were like walking among us right now? Think back, Germany, 1940s, 1945, Adolf Hitler lost. He lost. I sneezed on the air. Unbelievable. That means I'm probably human. Hold on a second. Alright, I'm back. Anyway, seriously, creepy clowns, it's like, it's like a national emergency or something. It's like, the world's going to come to an end now. Now, see, I'm kind of jumping to some conclusions here because I only heard about this last night, late last night, and I haven't done any research. I just read one article. It was in the local news. I don't really know what's going on. So I guess I'm speaking prematurely, but I'm qualifying that because I'm saying I don't know exactly what's going on, but I'm pretty sure that clowns are not like coming out of the woods and snatching children and taking them back into the woods and eating them or cooking them over an open pit fire and, you know, ripping their skin from their bodies, you know, with their bare teeth and lion claws and shit. I'm sorry. Can't take this too seriously yet. I'm going to have to hear about some, you know, mass murders going on first. I'm pretty sure the clowns are not like ISIS. And they're not coming into town and, you know, kidnapping all the teenage girls so that they can make sex slaves out of them. Which, by the way, I read something in the Bible once about that. And Moses said, I believe it was Moses, it may have been a later person that wasn't in charge, but one of the leaders of the Hebrews on the desert for 40 years and 40 nights. 40 years. And just went around just attacking villages and murdering and slaughtering and rape, pillage, and plundering. These are great people, the the Hebrews. Yeah, they were slaves in Egypt, and they went out and they just went around the desert for 40 years murdering people and raping people and shit and making slaves out of them and crap. I mean, like taking over their town and burning their villages down to the ground and shit. Why? Because God said to. So anyway, Moses, I believe it was Moses who said, and I kind of quote, paraphrase, very close, go to the next village. He said this to his soldier people in his village, the men, basically. Go to the next village, kill all the men, rape all the women, and bring back all the virgins and make sex slaves out of them. It says that, you know, in Bible talk. And it's sort of like they did apparently do that. So, as a result of him encouraging them to go and be like barbarians and animals and criminally insane garbage. You know, I just don't get it. I mean, why would anybody self-respecting Christian kind of guy, you know, put that in the freaking Bible? So that, you know, hundreds of years later, that people can look at that and say, I'm going to ignore that part of the Bible. Christians are going to like, oh, what you're talking about. And, of course, they're hypocrites and liars because, I read the Bible, I study the Bible. We have Bible study class every Wednesday, you know. And like, okay, and you didn't see that part? You didn't see where the guy says, you know, go to the next village and rape all the freaking women? Bring all the virgins back and make sex slaves out of them. You know, I've talked to a lot of people. I've never heard any Christian actually say something like to me after I said that to them, like, wow, I guess I'm like an idiot and can't read English or anything because the Bible's in English, which is kind of ironic if you think about it, or at least strange, almost creepy. No, we know why it's in English. Some guy said, make it in English. Well, I'm sorry, but, you know, if you don't acknowledge what the Bible says, then you didn't read it, because obviously you didn't. Because if you did, you'd have saw that. You would have seen that and said, wow, Moses is a bastard. Like a barbarian. He must be like part Viking or something. Alright, anyway, it's in there. Look it up. Don't tell me you don't know it. Don't tell me it's not there. Don't tell me, you know, don't call me weird names because you're just too damn lazy to look it up in a book that you claim to read all the time. Christians are weird. Anyway, Christians are creepy. Hey, how about this? We all have a big horror thing going on in the country because there are creepy Christians coming out of the woods and out the front doors of their houses. Yeah, why didn't they start that? Why are they picking on the poor clowns? Why didn't they just leave them out of this? Why couldn't we just have creepy Americans in general? Why can't we just have creepy Christians or... Christians are listening to this and say, "You bastard, you're going to hell." No, I'm not. Why would I go to hell? So anyway, I don't get it. So I do some more research, folks, and I get back to you on that. And I'll find out what the heck's going on here. I will know more later, and then I will say, people are reacting to creepy clowns in a kind of creepy kind of way. And people are creepy. I'm not creepy. Last words for this segment. Time's coming up to close this one out. And so, creepy clowns. What next? What other distractions are we going to have in this country? You know, distractions away from the fact that we got two freaking lunatics running for president. And one of them is probably going to be elected president. That's just creepy. Sorry. But then again, there's Gary Johnson, who's not perfect by any means, but, you know, I don't think he's a raving lunatic. Even with his faults, I'd rather see him president than these other two freaking crazy people. All right, we'll do some investigation on this, and we'll figure out what's going on with the creepy clowns and see what that is. Maybe it's just, you know, it's not even April Fool's Day. It's not Halloween. We're a couple of months, or a month and a half, August, September, October. Another month and a half or a month or so. So let's just see what's going on with this. I'll get back to you on that. All right, we'll keep an eye on the creepy clowns. And we'll keep an eye on people who think that this is like a reason to call the cops. And who think that clowns actually walk around in public like, here I am, just like a clown, and I got a red ball on the end of my nose, and I'm snatching up children and dragging them into the woods and eating them alive. No, nobody in their right mind would do that. I guess that's your point. They're not in their right mind. Well, I don't know that, and you don't know that. All right, enough for that. We'll get back to you on that later, and we'll do some digging and see what's coming up. All right, and I'm not clowning around with you. I'm set. Whoops. All right, bye-bye. Catch you later.